How to stay motivated? First of all, to stay motivated is to want to be motivated. First of all, we just keep saying, and we keep telling ourselves, oh, I wish I was motivated enough to do this. Oh, I wish I could do this. That girl is so active. That girl can do everything. Why can't I do it? It's not like that. If you really want it from within yourself, it will manifest. Okay, so ask the universe for what you want. Ask whatever higher power you believe in. Okay, ask the universe, and then you have to believe that you are capable to achieve it and that you are worth having it. The reason why we so many times fail to achieve the most in our life is because we really don't think that we can be somebody who can achieve such great heights, because we don't believe in ourselves enough. So first, start with believing in yourselves. Secondly, start with believing in the notion that you deserve the best. If you know that you deserve the best, you will never stop fighting for what you want. You will never stop asking for what you want, and you will be that outspoken person, who's always ready for challenges, because you know that you deserve the best. So don't stop, and don't start, settling down in your little world. Always try and always keep asking the world for something more. Ask for something more. If you're done with your cash level 3, ask what else can you do. Ask, challenge your own situations and try to do the next step. If you're done with a project in your school, take up the next thing immediately available. You will have a lot of old age to sit down and rest, and be happy with what you have. But this is not the time. This is your time to keep on learning, to keep on moving forward, to keep on challenging your own self, and your own belief of what you are worth. Make yourself worth even more. Steps, okay, on how to do this. So first of all, set your alarm. I know that we all are in lockdown and we all are feeling very, very lazy, and it is so easy to sleep in. So I want you guys to unmute yourself and tell me how many of you have actually stuck to your routine of actually getting up on time and actually, getting like as if you were working. How many of you have actually, followed this? I really want to hear. Can somebody unmute yourself?
I'm a working woman.
Nofida,
I'm
I
working
think
in
you
a
want to say
nursery,
something.
and I have a 3 years old son. My daily routine is like morning 5 o'clock I'm getting up until 10
Wow,
o'clock is continuously I'm working. And
that's good.
nowadays the situation is like that till 2 o'clock I'm not able to sleep. And
Oh my
8
God,
o'clock,
till 2
8:30.
o'clock?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm working so hard. I'm playing with my son whole day, doing lots of activities, sensory play, all the activities. But you won't
Yes.
believe I'm not able to sleep till 2 o'clock. My life cycle is all gone. Yeah,
Yes, I can understand having a child. It's very, very challenging, especially during lockdown. I know
true.
so many of my cousins who have children. They were having mental breakdowns, and they were calling me. They were like, "Tell me how to keep this person busy for 10 minutes. I just want to sleep. I just want to eat."
But
So
frankly telling you, I'm enjoying with my son. This
you're enjoying.
lockdown period has, yeah, given me a lot of time to play with him, to do lots of activities. The best part is I'm a teacher, so I know lots of activities. So we are
Yes,
enjoying ourselves.
that's an advantage, especially for early as educators.
Exactly.
We have a
True,
very
true,
big
true.
advantage.
True.
So that's why my whole family keeps calling me and asking me for ideas. They're like, "Tell me what to do. It is lunchtime. I need to eat. Tell me what should I do to keep him busy for 10 minutes." So I quickly just tell them some activity to do. But yes, this really helps. And then Malika says, when you have kids, you have to stay on schedule and on routine. That is true. When you do have
Okay.
kids, they kind of make you a little less lazy. So I think that's one advantage of having children, especially during a pandemic, is that you have to stay on track. There's just no other
True.
option. You have to feed the child on time, you have to do everything, you have to cook, you have to do everything. So it's very important. So always remember, whenever you feel that you're getting a little lazy, or you're letting the whole situation get to you, just remember to stick to the routine. If you stick to the routine, not necessarily that you have to achieve all your tasks which you are sticking to or which you have to do during the day, not necessarily, but if you have a routine, and if you just start to at least like start doing the task. Not necessarily you have to finish it, but if you start doing it, and then you have a next task in the next 30 minutes, and you have to start doing that, that gives you a sense of belonging. You know, that's why we have routines in the nurseries, because it gives the children a sense of belonging, that they belong in this, you know, in this classroom. That right now it is, you know, PP time, right now it is hand washing time, right now it is eating time, so that even our body does not demand food or does not demand to go to the washroom at just random times. There's going to be a, your body clock will also get set. If your clock and your routine is set in the house, you should always have a to-do list ready. Okay, it sounds very, you know, easy for me to say this, but actually getting a to-do list ready every day and actually sticking to this, it's very, very difficult, because you're at home. There's nobody watching you. There's nobody telling you that, you know, this has to be complete. There's no nursery managers here. There is no boss over here. You know, you have to stick to your own list yourself. So I make a to-do list like one night before, so that in the morning I don't get lazy and make excuses and try to convince myself that I really don't need to do this. It's on the list, you have to do it. So just, you know, keep your tasks ready one day before in order to, you know, minimize your laziness. That really helps. Sorry, I think Farad cannot hear my voice. So Farad, just I think if you exit and rejoin the meeting, you'll be able to hear it. Yes, there should not, Mohammed is saying there should be a PP time. You can keep your own PP times, but it's okay. You don't have to. But on a general note, you should have the whole, you know, the whole day laid out in front of you. So not necessarily that like a, you know, like a nursery, we have every single minute laid out, but on an average, every hour, what you should be accomplishing, you should have that written down. If you don't have it, you will tend to forget, and you will, you know, you will tend to get lazy, and you might just, you know, maybe take 2 hours on just one thing, but you know, you could have completed it in 1 hour, because you're just being lazy. You're just slowly doing the tasks and, you know, taking extra time. So don't do that. And always remember, a very important part of having a to-do list is, at the end of the to-do list, there should always be some time set off for yourself. So that should also be in your list. Okay, having time for yourself, not for your work, not for your you know, your meetings, not for your child, not for your husband. No, it should be for yourself. Pamper yourself. Maybe you can just, you know, put a face mask on and relax for 15 minutes. Okay, you've earned it after you've completed your to-do list. Or you could just close your eyes, listen to your favorite music, you know, without having anybody disturb you. Ask your partner or ask somebody to help you. Just look after the child for you know, a few minutes, and do this for yourself. This should always be in your to-do list, because you have to keep yourself as a priority if you want to, you know, stay sane during a pandemic, or you know, you want to help your people in the house or your child. You need to be okay first. So always remember, take care of yourself. If you feel that you're facing something challenging, emotional or something, in your to-do list, it should be written that I need to address this today. Speak to your friend, vent out with your friends, speak to your partner, speak to anybody you want, whoever gives you peace, and make sure you take out time just for yourself. Nobody else has, you know, the hold on that time. It's just you. Do is always work out. This has been so difficult to do, but it is so beneficial if you actually do this. It doesn't mean you have to do the full 3 hour gym thing, you know, a full like 2 hour workout session. It could just be a 20-minute workout, but always try to stay as active as you can. So there are so many online workout sessions that you can join. I know these following gyms that I've told: Best Body Company, Crank, F45, Energy Fitness, Fitness First. They all are giving online workout sessions. You can, you know, subscribe to them, and you can get every morning they release it's like a live thing. The trainer is doing it on the webcam, and then you're doing it at home. So it's really easy to follow, and it's really nice. Or if you really don't want to do all that stuff, make sure you do something else. Like you could do yoga at home, or even if you just have dance sessions with your children at home, you are even benefiting them, because they're getting good exercise, and obviously you're benefiting yourself. So the most important part of taking care of your children is first to take care of yourself. So make sure that you are healthy, make sure that you are staying active, and especially in the lockdown, if you stop working out, you will start becoming lazy because there's nowhere else that you're going to go. You're going to be in the four walls of your house. So make sure that you do something, you join something, and or if you're not going to find anything, or you're not able to do anything yourself, tell your friends to just have a small Zoom session every morning, 20 minutes, and just do some yoga with them on Zoom. And it's so much better if you have a person on Zoom, video calling you, doing the same thing. It will be so easy for you to do it as well. If they just tell you, why don't you do 20 push-ups in the morning, you're not actually going to do that. You're only going to do that if somebody is going to be watching you and giving you some feedback, encouraging you. So make sure you just bound yourself on these things. Next thing that you do is, if you are working from home, which I know many of you are, separate your workspace from your home space. So make a special space in your home which is only for work. Don't just sit on your bed, wake up, sit on the laptop on your lap, and then start working. That's generally how most of us do it, but we shouldn't be doing that. We should have a separate workspace in the house just for your work. So make sure that you have something nice over there, like maybe you can have some co-workers pictures over there, just so it reminds you that this is my workspace. And when you enter that space, or when you're getting into that zone, make sure that you leave all the stress about home behind, that you're supposed to cook this for lunch, or you're supposed to cook this for dinner, or you have to take out the clothes from the laundry. Just thinking about all these things for once, and just enter your workspace and get into the zone of how you would be working if you were in the office. And trust me, behave the same way you would if you were in the office. If we start taking advantage that we're at home, so we can do 100 things at a time, you'll get too overburdened. Okay, so don't take the stress of cooking. If you weren't cooking before when you were going to work, don't start now, because you still have to work. If you have to start cooking, you'll have to take out your time from work and then go and cook. So make sure you prepare the same way how you would if you were going to work. Okay, so and keep that space organized, very, very well organized, your office space, just how you would in your office. So this will give you a new sense of working and coming to work. Even if just means getting up from the bed and going to the living room, to the table that you have set up, you'll still have more concentration to work. Then have a proper allow yourself to take social media breaks. Okay, so let's really not kid ourselves and think that we'll stay away from our phones, because we all are so addicted. Of course you're going to be at home, and of course nobody's watching you. There's no boss sitting and telling you don't touch your phone, or leave your phone in the reception and then go inside. You have your phones with you. You are going to use your phones for sure. So it's okay, be practical. We all know you're going to use your phone, but it really helps if you allot yourself times. Like for example, you can keep 1 hour of work and then 5 minutes of just browsing on your phone, like we do, waste our time on social media, or just reply to some messages or whatever. It's okay, you can do that, but give yourself allotted times, so that when you do that, and when it is written that you're only going to use the phone at 4 o'clock till 4:05 or till 4:10, then you'll have the patience to wait for it. Okay, so give yourself, after every hour you can give yourself 5 to 10 minutes to use the phone. Then take advantage of quarantine opportunities. Now quarantine has really changed the whole game of education, and of courses online, and everybody has come online. We ourselves, Eminar, we are online for the first time in our history. So take advantage of these things. We do so many continuous provision things for free as well. Like we have another session coming up on the 5th, which is free of cost. Okay, and so make sure you attend those workshops. Okay, don't if you think that, you know, you don't have anything major to do right now, and you're okay, you know, and you're just looking to stay on track or do something in the quarantine time or in the, you know, COVID situation, then sign yourself up for free courses. You know, you don't have to spend money just because you want to learn something. You can do free things. I myself am doing from Harvard Extension School, I'm doing 2 courses. So I'm doing one on child protection, I'm doing one on curriculum designing. So, like, you know, keep yourself busy even though you're working, but then you're at home, so you are more relaxed and you have a little more energy. Use that somewhere, okay? Because this time is not going to come back. Okay, so there are so many things I've listed over here. So MNR does a lot of free things. Then there is Harvard Extension School, which gives a lot of courses. Teachers should definitely check them out. There is an open Yale courses. Okay, so if you go to the Yale University website, they have an open Yale courses section where you can go and you can browse many courses. Then there is edX. I know edX because my child protection course is on the edX platform. And then I went and searched the platform. There are 100 courses over there which you can do. There is digital media, there is online marketing, there is social media courses, there is how to build a website, learn something new, pottery courses online. So they do it on the webcam. So it's really, really interesting. Do something like that. Then of course, everybody knows Udemy. They have so many courses. There is Academic Earth, that website. It has a lot of courses as well, and they're not expensive. I think a few of them might be $100 or $150 or $70, but most of them are free. Okay, so make sure you check them out. Make sure you do something. Make sure you have something to show that you had so much time. What did you do? Okay, and expect higher of yourself. Expect yourself to, you know, be productive. Expect yourself to be active, and only then you'll be so hard on yourself. You know, we see so much of social media, okay, and then I myself get so, you know, demotivated sometimes that, oh my god, there are girls of my age doing 10 times better things than me in life, okay, on social media, and they have achieved so much. They all are PhDs, they all are masters, they all have, like, you know, 3 children, this, that. They have so many things on social media. It's all really good and it's lovely, but don't start comparing yourself to it. In quarantine, I've seen so many people, you know, forcing themselves to study or forcing themselves to do extra things just because everybody around is doing it and it is something that you should be doing, and they feel guilty about wasting time. Just do as much as you can do. If you force yourself, you won't be doing everything that you can to the best of your ability. Just do as much as you can do. If you think you can only do one thing, just enroll yourself in one thing. But if you think you can manage to do 3 things, 5 things, then go ahead and enroll yourself. And it's okay to leave it if you cannot do it. You don't have to achieve something for sure, but make sure that you are doing something, that you're not actually wasting your time. Okay, if you think you are eligible and you are able enough to do it, just enroll and do it, but don't do over. Okay, and remember to stay up to date with the whole situation with corona, with the government guidelines, health regulations. I hope you all know the UAE health regulations. So the lockdown is officially over or semi over, and the institutes are back, operating. But of course, educational institutes won't be, because children under 12 are not allowed to go anywhere, like, for studies or anything. So online classes will still be going on up until September, but mostly from government, it seems that it might go beyond September. So prepare yourself accordingly, okay? And it's okay to take a break sometimes of all these to-do lists and everything. It's okay sometimes. You can take a break. You can take a day off. But remember, it's only temporary. Don't just stick with that break for the rest of the whole month. Just have a day, maybe in a month, one day you can have for yourself, where you don't have any list to do, where you don't have anything to achieve, and you're just being lazy on the couch. That's also allowed. It's okay. Whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel like you can operate well, do that. Okay, so remember to keep yourself updated with the news as well. But please be careful of all the fake news which goes around, like Corona has really put so much of fake news in the market. Like, you know, there's some countries have the cure, something is happening, people are dying, this, that. It's true, the situations are bad. Be careful, be, you know, as take precautions as much as you can, okay? And wear your masks, wear your gloves if you can, and don't touch your face. That's really all you need to know. You don't really, there is really nothing else which is true out there in the news. So don't poison yourself with fake news, and don't watch the news channel all day, because they keep coming up with the latest updates, which are sometimes true, sometimes not true. Just go with the government guidelines, and that's it. And going with poisonous news will also give a lot of negativity and fear in your house. So make sure that the news is not online, you know, on all the time in your house. But of course, every day, 10-15 minutes, you should see the latest update and see, you know, what
For
the
some of
latest
you who are
already doing learning, or you're planning to start learning something, even if it is just a short course or a one-day course or a workshop or anything, a few tips and tricks on how to stay motivated during learning, because Zoom sessions can get very, very boring. I know, because I train. So it's not just boring for students, it's boring even for trainers, because we are so used to seeing you all, you know, in person, and then, you know, hugging you all and really talking to you all one on one, and then having especially those group activities that we would all have, and the practical crafts that we would all make in class. We can't have that anymore. So we really, really miss that as trainers. And I know students absolutely miss the online, you know, the actual classes so much. But online classes is something that we must do for now, because it is compulsory. So just how to stay motivated. So if you're planning to study, find a place to, you know, learn which is not your work from home area. So always have areas in the house. So like I have set up areas, like if I'm working, I have like a specific table and chair where I sit and work. When I'm doing my classes, I always like come out, and I'm like, right now I'm sitting on the floor. I know you all can't see it, but this is my space for when I want to do my you know, webinars, or when I want to do my classes, because I think this is the best way that, and I'm very, very comfortable in this situation. So that's why I've made this my study area. Okay, and then obviously my other, like bed and all, I don't go over there because I'll get very lazy. Okay, so I have like three separate areas in the house where I keep walking around throughout the day. So, you know, it helps me focus on the task that I'm going to do. So always have a separate area for you to learn. Okay, and try to find a Zoom buddy. So, you know, in your class you will have maybe 20 students, or maybe even just 10 of you are there. Have one person out of that who you like, or who's your friend. Try to have a Zoom call with them every day. Even though you don't have a class, try to have a call with them every day, just to, like, you know, say hello, check in, and see if there's any update on the course, or if there's any question that they can help you with, or you can help them with. It really helps to have a Zoom buddy, or just a buddy, you know, who you can share your feelings with, and you can vent out related to the course, especially because they're doing something, the same thing that you are doing, so they will understand what you're going through. Okay, then obviously reach out to the teachers for video calls. So it is an absolute must that if online classes is not making you comfortable, or you're missing that aspect of, you know, having to see the teacher, or having to speak to the teacher in person, reach out to the teacher, call her, speak to her, and tell her that I'm, you know, I'm facing something, and I really want to speak to you. The teachers are always available to have Zoom sessions for you, for sure, because it's so easy for them also. Like for me, it's so easy. I'll just create one link, and, you know, I can see you. So if you want to speak to me, or if you want to speak to any of your teachers on video calls separately, make sure you have that. Very, very important, turn on your webcam, because communication, which is non-verbal, is about 80% of the communication. Okay, and also prevents you from accidentally dozing off during the lecture. Lectures can get very, very boring. They really can, especially if it is something like laws and legislations. And I know, because these topics are there in cash, sometimes they get very, very boring. So switch on your webcam so that you know somebody is watching you, and then you don't accidentally just, you know, sleep off or just start doing something else, or start seeing your phone. You should all be attentive and you should all be aware. So just switch on your webcam. It makes you very conscious. You know, this is like known fact. Everybody becomes conscious when they have webcams on. And obviously the chat box is there, so use that to speak to your peers. And not necessarily has to be about the course. You can talk about anything, and make sure you are speaking to them and connecting with them all throughout. Okay, and now especially because you're not going to see each other, your co-workers or your peers who are studying with you, make sure you are in touch with them throughout the day. You can do this through Zoom, you can do this through just WhatsApp, but make sure you speak to each other, because you know, you all are in this together, and you all will understand what you all are going through because you're doing something common together. And always remember when you're doing during the class to put your phone away, okay, because this is the biggest distraction. And you know, just put it away or put it on silent and keep it on the corner. And after the class, disconnect, switch off your laptop, detox, and take a big break, because you've earned the break. Because the class, generally, I know the classes last until 2 hours, 3 hours. It's a lot of information, you know, for your brain. Your brain needs to switch off, just detox for a while. And you know, just it helps you retain the information. So it is really scientific. If you take a break after every hour or every 2 hours, it helps the brain to retain the information much better than to keep exhausting it. So when you have a class, don't plan something on Zoom itself immediately after the class. Always give yourself an hour's break, or maybe just have one class per day. That is very, very important with your young ones. So this is all about you. So now let's dive into what we can do with the young ones. Okay, so I just want to give you a few ideas of what you can do virtually with your young ones. This can be used for your children, obviously, at home, and you can also use this with your nursery children. Okay, if you are doing online classes for the children, you know, for your nursery kids, so you can use this. So there is beluga whales in Georgia, and there is a webcam inside, you know, over there in the big aquarium, and that it gives an online feed, so you can watch the whale, you know, how it is inside the water, and you can have a full day's discussion watching that whale. So it's really lovely topic to do. And so you just go on the website for Georgia Aquarium, and you know, just type in beluga whales webcam, and you can you can register for it, you can sign in, and then you can log in with your children, and you can have that thing live feed going on. It is an absolute amazing thing to see the whale, you know, like going here and there, and then the children will discuss about it. You guys can create the whole day's you know, itinerary based on the whale, and then the whole week can be just on beluga whale and different types of whales which are there in the ocean. So this can be a really cool activity. Then you can take a virtual tour of the Louvre in Paris. So it's in the museum in Paris, and again they have set up a virtual webcam feed, and the children can visit the paintings, and they can see everything, the statues in the museum, just virtual tour. Okay, so it's going to be like a 360-degree tour, and just you can just click right and left arrow on your laptop, and you can go front and back, and you can see all the paintings. And again, make this your whole day or your whole week, and talk about each painting, get them to recreate it, so you can do all these things. Then in US, there is Cincinnati Zoo live stream. So please check the website exactly for the timing, but on the Facebook page it says that it's daily at 3 p.m. So they switch on the camera, and the children can see the zoo just by staying at home. So they can see all the animals, and you know, they can click on which animal they want to see. So this is really, really amazing. Then you can take a virtual field trip to Yellowstone National Park. And then there's also a virtual field trip to Boston Children's Museum, and you can visit the museum, and you can talk about all the statues, the paintings, and everything, and you can make a whole day or a whole week out of this. Okay, so this itself is like a whole month worth of things that you can do with the child. You can discuss on the whales, you can do different activities on the whale, you can do slime, you can do ocean slime, you can do, you know, making ocean oobleck. You can do so many activities. Okay, So
online
these are
on
some things that you
the
can do.
laptop.
But moving away from the screen time, you can set up a really nice treasure hunt for them. So treasure hunt is very easy, obviously, for you to set up, but it'll be difficult for them to find, obviously. So make sure it's a little tough, okay? Make it a little challenging for them. You can hide about 10, 20 things around the house, and you can give them a little hints on where to go, what to find. This itself will take up a few hours, and if they are a little older, if they are maybe 5 and above, they can even, whatever they find, they can spell it, and then they can write what that is used for, for making them understanding the world, what it is used for, what that object does in the house. They can write that. And obviously this whole literacy and understanding the world, you can improve with this. Okay, so you can set up the treasure. It's really nice if you set it up one night before, okay, and then you wake them up with a surprise treasure hunt, and that can take up good 4 hours, 5 hours, and you can discuss about everything you find in it. Okay, so these are just some activities. Now I wanted to show you a small video on some activities as well. I'm sure you guys have seen online and researched so many activities, but just quick ones for toddlers I wanted to show you. I found a really nice video on YouTube. Everything that we can do. There are actually so many things if we go into it, and you can watch so many videos. So this channel 5 Minute Craft is really nice for us to watch what all activities we can do, and with children. But these are just some things that you can do, and you should also it's good to do them to keep them busy and to continue their development at home. But I want to draw your attention to something which is very important, is some things which you definitely should do, okay, and which you definitely should install, and something that you should talk about with your children, especially during this pandemic, given that we all are stuck in these unexpected and weird situations, and the world is trying to figure out what to do, and children actually are trying to figure out what to do, and they really don't know why they cannot go out, and why the parents are at home, before they were not, and why the world is changing. So it's very important that you educate them about what corona is, about what the situation is, and why are we staying at home, so that we are protected, and we are very lucky. Make sure that you take them out in for a small for a little bit of walk in the evenings. It doesn't have to be necessarily to a park or anything, because it's not very safe to go out, even though I know UAE is opening up the parks next I think from next Tuesday. But don't try to avoid, of course, as much physical contact with other children as possible, but always try to take them outside the house for at least 20 minutes in a day. Okay, remember, they have to have their mask on, you have to have your masks on, and take them out for at least 20 minutes. With children, it's very important that you make them wear gloves, because they do touch everything, and that's their way of exploring the world, and that's fine. But you should try to teach them not to touch everything just right now, and also try to, if that they probably will touch, so make them wear gloves. So take them out for a walk. If you have a garden, that's lovely, okay, in your house. If you have an outdoor space, that's lovely. But if you don't take them out for a walk, you can really use this time to teach them something that the nursery, of course, in nurseries also they learn all these things, but it won't reach full circle till they actually practice it at home practically as well. Like cooking, you can do some non-fire cooking activities with them. You can teach them how to clean their own room, clean the house, help you in cleaning the house. Make them more independent, because trust me, that is the skill that they need in life. Okay, then putting the clothes inside the washing machine when it is laundry time, you should always try to get them to do this, because this is something easy that they can do. Okay, or at least help you, okay, picking out the white colors of the clothes from the colored ones, and teaching them why we separate them, and why we clean our clothes, and how we clean our clothes, and then or setting the table for food. These are things which will teach them how to be self-independent. And then another very important thing that can be done is gardening. This should be done because it is very therapeutic, okay, and it is known to really, really support brain development in young children as well as adults. So try to do gardening with them as much as possible. If you live in a flat and you have a very, you have very small in confined space, make a small corner in the house and get some pots and get some soil and get them to just plant 1 or 2 trees and take care of them every day and water them. So teaching them life skill is something that we have time for now. Another and we thing you can do with them is you can introduce them to a new country every week. When else are you going to get the time to teach them so much about the diversity and the diverse culture that we live in, especially in UAE? So you can watch different cultural videos with them, to introduce diversity. Every week, they can close their eyes, put their finger on one country, and you can sit down with them. You can make that whole week about that country and maybe cook some, snacks with them from that country, watch some videos with them, watch some children movies from that country, with subtitles or silent movies, anything to teach them what it is in how people live in other countries. What do people eat in Russia, what do people eat in India, what do they wear in different countries. These things are so important for them, and because we are getting them ready for the global world that they're going to step into, okay, when they're going to start working, it's so important to educate them for different cultures. So make sure that you use this pandemic just not to improve their academics. Of course that's going to happen, but make sure these skills in life skills which they're not going to learn anywhere. Another really amazing project which you can do, and I don't have children but I am still doing this, is I'm creating a time capsule. So this is something where from this year or from the years before this, you can create a list of photos and favorite foods of the children, and favorite magazines or like favorite articles that you have read as well, and favorite pictures of yourself as a family, favorite photographs, and you can close them all in a box, okay, and you can name it your own time capsule and set a date aside next year to open this box, just to just for nostalgia and to revisit the memories of where you were last year and where you are now, and that you have succeeded and you have survived the whole another year that life has given you. So this is really good lessons to teach our children, okay? So you can really create this, and this can be a whole family project, and you can make a really nice box out of cardboard and decorate it the way you want. Get children to do finger painting on it or hand stamps on it, and maybe even their foot stamps on it. So you can do all these things. Always remember that the most important thing to take away from this pandemic and from this situation that we all are thrown into is the importance of being empathetic. So use this opportunity to point out to them how life is so uncertain and how things can change overnight, and how you need to be empathetic and kind and loving and forgiving, and so that it is important to keep the peace in the house and important to be peaceful in your own hearts. Okay, so try to do some charity with them. You can choose and ask them what they want to do and how they want to help the world. Okay, so maybe they can make own donation box, which you can of course give it over here for donation companies, the NGOs which are running for laborers, for providing food to them. Children can put the things inside it with their own hands. This is really gives off a feeling of empathy. They start to understand what being empathetic means. Okay, so you can tell them how to make them choose how they want to help the world, and then support them in doing that. Okay, and another very good practice for you as well as your children to do is to name 3 things that you're thankful for every single day when you wake up. So I've started doing this personally from I think 1 year now, and it really has made me a better person. Not just because I name 3 things in the morning, but because the feeling I get when I name them, it quickly suddenly makes me realize that, oh my God, I am so lucky. I'm lucky that I have a roof over my head. As you know, in so many countries right now, things are so bad. People are out of work, obviously, and they don't have a house to live in. They're living on the roads. They don't have food to eat. We have food on our plates. We are very, very lucky. So thank tell them to thank the universe or the higher power, whoever you believe in, just to thank and give thanks, and hope that everything gets better soon. Okay, so any three things that they're thankful for, it could be anything. It could even be this bed that they're sleeping in. It could even be this new toy that you've got them and they're so thankful for that. It's absolutely fine, but tell them to say these things out. When they're very young, they can say them out. If they are a little older, they can have a small notebook of giving thanks, and they can write those three things every day. Like I have a small notebook, so it's really nice. And the same thing goes for you guys, for adults. So make sure you are giving thanks as well. Okay, it makes you and everyone around you much more happier and peaceful and healthier. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed today's sessions. I wanted to quickly show you what we have coming up next as well. It's really nice to connect with you guys, even if this is just for an hour, and in an hour we just get to know each other and hopefully share some positivity during this pandemic. Okay,